Combining two office spaces into one requires careful consideration of several electrical factors. Firstly, it's essential to contact your local building department to ensure that removing the wall does not violate any building codes or require a permit. Secondly, confirm that the 2 meters and disconnects are appropriately sized for the combined load of the larger office. The 2 electrical circuits should be adequately separated to prevent any potential cross-contamination or safety hazards. Verify that the existing wiring is sufficient to handle the increased load from the single large office. If necessary, upgrade the wiring to meet the requirements. In the proposed configuration, the 2 meters and disconnects would still be grouped together. This arrangement is acceptable as long as they are properly labeled and easily accessible for maintenance. Distribute the electrical load evenly between the 2 circuits to prevent overloading either one. This may require redistributing outlets or appliances. If separate billing is required for the 2 different entities that once occupied the separate offices, you may need to install sub-meters or make other arrangements to track usage. The procedure involves several steps. 1. Obtain the necessary permits and approvals. 2. Hire a qualified electrician to remove the wall and make the necessary electrical modifications. 3. Have the electrical work inspected by a certified inspector. And 4. Notify your utility provider of the change in configuration. It is strongly recommended to consult with a licensed electrician and local building officials to ensure compliance with all applicable codes and safety regulations. When dealing with electrical modifications during a building renovation, it's vital to adhere to the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and all relevant local amendments. This ensures safety and code compliance. Let's delve into some specific areas of concern regarding electrical safety and capacity during this type of project. It's imperative that all electrical work be performed by a qualified electrician who is familiar with local codes and NEC requirements. This helps ensure that the modifications are done safely and correctly. Before any demolition or modifications begin, it's crucial to perform a thorough inspection of the existing electrical systems in both office spaces. This includes examining wiring, panels, outlets, and lighting fixtures. Identify any existing code violations or safety hazards that need to be addressed. Evaluate the existing electrical load in each office space to determine if the current service capacity is adequate for the combined space. Consider factors such as lighting, computers, HVAC systems, and other electrical equipment. If the existing service capacity is insufficient, you may need to upgrade the service to accommodate the increased load. The 2 electrical circuits should be kept separate to prevent any potential hazards. For example, you would not want to connect the lighting circuit from one office space to the receptacle circuit of the other office space. This can lead to overloading and other safety issues. If the existing wiring is not adequate for the combined load, it will need to be upgraded to meet the requirements. This may involve replacing conductors with larger sizes or running new circuits. All wiring must be properly sized and installed in accordance with NEC requirements. When redistributing outlets or appliances, it's essential to balance the electrical load evenly between the 2 circuits. This prevents overloading either circuit and ensures safe and reliable operation. Use a clamp meter to measure the current on each circuit to verify that the load is balanced. Install ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, protection for all receptacles located in wet or damp locations such as restrooms and break rooms. GFCI outlets are designed to protect against electrical shock and are required by code in these areas. Arc fault circuit interrupter, or FSI, protection is required for all branch circuits that supply outlets or devices in dwelling units. While office spaces may not be considered dwelling units, it's still a good practice to install FSI protection for added safety. FSI breakers are designed to protect against electrical fires caused by arcing faults. Ensure that all electrical panels are properly labeled and that the labels accurately reflect the circuits they control. This helps facilitate maintenance and troubleshooting. Use a circuit directory to identify the location of each outlet and device connected to each circuit. Verify that all electrical equipment is properly grounded in accordance with NEC requirements. Grounding helps protect against electrical shock and reduces the risk of fire. Use a multimeter to measure the grounding impedance and verify that it is within acceptable limits. Install surge protection devices, or SPDs, at the electrical panels to protect against voltage surges caused by lightning or other events. SPD help protect sensitive electronic equipment from damage. Ensure that all electrical work is inspected by a certified electrical inspector before the office space is occupied. The inspector will verify that the work was performed in accordance with code and that it is safe to use. Address any deficiencies identified by the inspector before energizing the circuits. Before removing the separating wall, carefully disconnect and reroute any electrical wiring or conduit that is located within the wall. This may involve temporarily de-energizing circuits and using appropriate lockout-tagout procedures. Be sure to properly terminate and insulate any unused conductors. After the wall is removed, you may need to relocate or extend existing electrical circuits to accommodate the new layout of the office space. This may involve adding new outlets, switches, or lighting fixtures. Plan the layout carefully to ensure that all electrical equipment is conveniently located and easily accessible. If the existing lighting fixtures are not adequate for the larger office space, you may need to install additional fixtures to provide sufficient illumination. Consider using energy-efficient LED lighting to reduce energy consumption and lower operating costs. Use a light meter to measure the light levels in different areas of the office space and adjust the lighting accordingly. If the office space includes a data center or server room, it's essential to provide dedicated electrical circuits and backup power to ensure reliable operation. Consider installing an uninterruptible power supply, or UPS, to protect against power outages. Ensure that the data center is properly grounded and that it has adequate cooling to prevent overheating. When running new electrical wiring, be sure to use the appropriate type of conduit to protect the conductors from damage. Rigid metal conduit, or RMC, intermediate metal conduit, or IMC, and electrical metallic tubing, or INT, are commonly used for commercial applications. Choose the appropriate type of conduit based on the location and environmental conditions. Use proper fittings and connectors to ensure a secure and watertight connection. All electrical boxes must be securely mounted and properly supported. Use appropriate fasteners to attach the boxes to the wall or ceiling. Ensure that the boxes are accessible for maintenance and that they are not obstructed by insulation or other materials. When making electrical connections, be sure to use the appropriate wire connectors and terminals. Wire nuts, terminal blocks, and crimp connectors are commonly used for splicing and terminating conductors. Use a torque screwdriver to tighten the connections to the manufacturer's recommended torque. After completing the electrical modifications, thoroughly test all circuits and equipment to verify that they are functioning properly. Use a multimeter to measure voltage, current, and resistance. Use a circuit tracer to identify the location of each circuit. Verify that all safety devices, such as GFCI outlets and offside breakers, are functioning correctly. Document all electrical modifications on as-built drawings. This will help facilitate future maintenance and troubleshooting. Include the location of all wiring, panels, outlets, and lighting fixtures. Keep the as-built drawings in a safe and accessible location. If the office space is leased, be sure to obtain approval from the landlord before making any electrical modifications. The landlord may have specific requirements or restrictions regarding electrical work. Obtain a written agreement that outlines the scope of the work, the schedule, and the responsibilities of each party. Consider the impact of the electrical modifications on the building's energy efficiency. Use energy-efficient lighting, appliances, and equipment to reduce energy consumption and lower operating costs. Install occupancy sensors to automatically turn off lights in unoccupied areas. Use a programmable thermostat to control the temperature in the office space and reduce energy waste. In addition to the electrical modifications, consider other aspects of the office space renovation, such as lighting, acoustics, and ergonomics. Create a comfortable and productive work environment for employees. Choose furniture and equipment that are ergonomically designed to reduce the risk of injury. Use sound-absorbing materials to reduce noise levels in the office space. Consider the impact of the renovation on the building's overall appearance and functionality. Ensure that the renovations are consistent with the building's architectural style and that they enhance the building's value. Obtain feedback from employees and other stakeholders throughout the renovation process. Use their input to make informed decisions and to ensure that the renovated office space meets their needs. After the renovation is complete, celebrate the success of the project with employees and other stakeholders. Recognize the contributions of the individuals and teams who were involved in the renovation. The electrical capacity for the combined office space must adhere to NEC guidelines. This includes calculating the total load, considering demand factors, and ensuring adequate overcurrent protection. Article 220.12 addresses general lighting loads and stipulates volt-ampere per square foot requirements based on occupancy. For an office, this is typically 3.5 volt-amps per square foot. Receptacle outlets are addressed in 220.14i. Each receptacle outlet is typically calculated at 180 volt-amps unless the actual load is known. Small appliance branch circuits, as per 220.11, require a minimum of 220 amp circuits for small appliances in general use. These are calculated at 1500 volt-amps per circuit. HVAC equipment loads must be calculated based on the equipment's nameplate ratings. Consider both the heating and cooling loads and ensure the service can handle the larger of the two. Motors are addressed in Article 430. Calculate the full load amps of each motor and consider the starting current requirement. Data processing equipment requires dedicated circuits. Calculate the load based on the equipment's nameplate ratings and provide adequate power and cooling. Demand factors, as per Article 220.42, allow for a reduction in the calculated load based on the likelihood of all loads being used simultaneously. These factors vary depending on the type of load and the occupancy. Service entrance conductors must be sized to carry the calculated load. Table 310.16 provides ampacity ratings for conductors based on their size and insulation type. Overcurrent protection, such as circuit breakers or fuses, must be sized to protect the conductors and equipment. Article 240 provides guidelines for overcurrent protection. Grounding and bonding, as per Article 250, are critical for safety. Ensure that all electrical equipment is properly grounded and bonded to reduce the risk of electrical shock. Surge protection, as per Article 280, is recommended to protect sensitive electronic equipment from voltage surges. Consider installing a surge protective device at the service entrance and at individual branch circuits. The NEC also addresses specific requirements for wiring methods such as conduit, cable, and raceways. Choose the appropriate wiring method based on the location and environmental conditions. All electrical work must be performed in a neat and workmanlike manner. This includes properly supporting and securing wiring, labeling circuits, and ensuring that all connections are tight and secure. The existing electrical panels must be properly sized and rated for the calculated load. Consider the available space for additional breakers and ensure that the panels are not overloaded. If necessary, upgrade the panels to accommodate the increased load. If the existing meters are not adequate for the combined load, they may need to be upgraded. Contact the utility company to discuss meter upgrade options. Submetering may be required if separate billing is desired for different tenants or departments. Install submeters to measure the energy consumption of individual areas or equipment. Emergency lighting, as per Article 700, may be required to provide illumination in the event of a power outage. Install emergency lighting units that are powered by batteries or a generator. Fire alarm systems, as per Article 760, must be properly installed and maintained. Ensure that the fire alarm system is compatible with the building's overall fire safety plan. The electrical system must be inspected and approved by a qualified electrical inspector before the office space is occupied. The inspector will verify that the work was performed in accordance with the NEC and local codes. Addressing these electrical considerations ensures a safe and code-compliant renovation.